Very good morning, students. Coming to another lecture on microprocessor and microcontrollers. Today we are going to discuss about the pulse width modulation and calculation of frequency of a pulse width modulation, duty cycle, and average voltage, real-time clock, and how it is used in real-time applications, and along with the comparators. So first of all, coming to the pulse width modulation output. What is pulse width modulation? The idea behind this pulse width modulation is very simple, that the load is switched on and off periodically, so that we need to calculate the average voltage, or the average voltage has to be a desired value. That means we need to accurate or to get a desired value. And see here, pulse width modulation or pulse duration modulation. That means in order to obtain an average or desired value, we are using this technique. See here, so that the average voltage has a desired value. That means pulse width modulation or pulse duration. Duration in sense we are calculating the time. And see here, the fraction of time while the output is active is called the duty cycle. So the fraction of time while the output is active, that means the output remains active for only a few seconds. That means fraction of time, the time might be vary. So that time is called as a duty cycle. And the duty cycle is always varied by keeping the period constant and changing the width of the pulses, and hence the name it as a pulse width modulation. Here, if you maintain the system or the clock or the time constantly, then the pulse will not be changed. If whenever we are varying the width, or whenever we are varying the width constantly, or whenever we are varying the period constantly, then the width of the signal will be varied. That's why it's known as a pulse width modulation. See here, suppose see here, in the output mode we have taken two registers, that is timer A capture control register R1, timer A capture control register R0, and 0 4F's H values. Here we are considering the two mode of operations in this PWM. So see here, set and reset mode and reset and set mode. As I have already told you that these two are inverse to each other. See here, when during the set and reset mode, initially the output or the pulse width modulation is at a reset mode, and whenever it reaches to TACCR1, that is timer A counter compare register value, then it will be in set mode, and it remains in set mode until it reaches to the value of TACCR0. That means, see here, whenever the value is 60, that means whenever the value is, or whenever it reaches a TACCR1, this output mode will be in set position until it reaches to 100. That means this period of time the output will be in set mode, and after that it will be in a reset mode. That means here, can I say that 40%? So while taking the complete 100%, 40% of the time it is in on position, and the remaining 60% is it will be in off position. So coming to the set and reset and set mode, 60% will be in on position, and the remaining 40% it will be in off position. That is a reset mode, off position. Here this is 40. Here 60% is in off position and 40% in on position. Coming to the set and reset and set mode, 60% is on position and 40% is in off position of the pulse width output. Okay, so see here, what type of interrupt flags? Counter, compare, interrupt flag, G0 and G1. See here, whenever it is going to set, that means whenever it is going to reset the value, here it is in on position, that means an interrupt will be occurring. That means here after entering or after coming to a value of 100, it is resetting again here, and after entering it after changing its position, it is resetting here. See here. Okay, so now we are going to calculate the frequency of the output. How it is going to be calculated? F frequency of pulse width modulation is equals to F timer clock by period of TAR in count. So TAR in sense it is a counter register, how many times. For example, if you are taking it as 100%, then the TAR value will becomes 99, and here TACCR0 means 99 plus 1, that is nothing but 100. So what is timer clocks? Timer clocks is the clock counting to So timer clock F frequency timer clock is nothing but clock counting to the counter, that is the frequency clocks that are given to the 16-bit counter here. So if it is in, so how many clocks are coming out, how many timer clocks are coming out divided by the total number of clocks, that is divided by 100. See here, duty cycle. Coming to duty cycle, we are going to calculate the pulse width N by period. Pulse width N means how many number of clocks, how many transactions are there, or how many on states are there, or how much percent it is in on state. Suppose for example, if you consider this one set or resets mode, so on state is at 40%, that means that is equals to, here it will be 40%, that means the duty cycle is here 40%, and the duty cycle for reset and set mode is 60%. Like that we are going to calculate the duty cycle. The very important thing is the average across the output. So that is nothing but V average is given as duty cycle into VCC. VCC is the maximum amplitude. So for duty cycle is nothing but if it is 40%, for example, if you take 40% and we are multiplying with the maximum amplitude. So coming to the next one, real time clock. What is the real time clock? Where we have already seen just real time clock in our previous session. That is, in real time clock we are going to calculate, or we are going to provide a calendar. Real time clock is a timer module that provides a clock with calendar. It also provides clock in sense seconds, minutes, hours, days, month and year. We are treating it as in calendar. See here, calendar. That means we need to calculate each and every second. So configurable for real time clock mode or 32-bit general purpose counter with real time mode selection bit. It can be configured. Okay, coming to the next one, the current time and the date are held in a set of registers that contains the following bytes. That means, so we need to calculate that, and for example, calculating or designing a calendar is very hard. That means we need to check each and every second. So for each and every second we cannot assign a single register, so that's why they have assigned different registers. See here, RTC SEC, this RTC real time clock seconds. So what they have told us that the current time and date are held in a set of registers. So they are giving a set of registers to each and every operation here. See here, RTC seconds. That means here this register is set to calculate the seconds. Here RTC min, it is used to calculate minutes, and RTC hours, it runs for 0 to 24/23. That means it's a 24-hour format. RTC day of the week, whether it is Monday or Tuesday or whatever it may be, and RTC day, that means day of the month, that is from 1 to 31, and month, here month in sense Jan to December, year, assuming it is in a BCD format, that is a 16-bit timer format, and century, or which century we are living in. Okay, I repeat again, here in RTC, that means real-time clock, we are going to generate the calendar. So in order to generate the calendar, they have assigned a set of registers which are used to calculate seconds, minutes, hours, and days of the week, day of the month, year in BCD format, and also in century. See here, in this is a block diagram of a real-time clock operation. How we see here, we have two modes. In this, the second one is a calendar mode and the first one is a timer mode. So this is a calendar mode and this is a timer mode. See here, the mode is selected here, that is the timer mode is selected here. We have a 3 clock signals, that is ACLK, SMCLK and basic timer clock. Depending upon this, we are going to select what type of clock frequency we need. So by taking the clock frequency from this multiplexer and giving it a trigger, see here, RTC SEC or RTC NT1 at terminal 1 here, after completion of 60 seconds, it will give a trigger to the minutes. That means it needs to change. After here, whenever the input clock is given to this seconds block or mode or pin, after completion of 60 seconds, it gives a trigger to this RTC minute block. That means change that one. After completion of 60 minutes, it will give to the hours, change the hour. After completion of 24 hours, it gives to change the day. And all these inputs gives or set a interrupt flag here, RTC interrupt flag here. See here, if 8 bits or overflow, minutes is been changed, minutes has to be changed. If this is overflowed, the minutes has to be changed. This is overflowed, then the hours has been changed. This is overflowed, then the day has to be changed. See here, 8-bit overflow, minutes will be changed. 16-bit overflow, hours will be changed. 24-bit overflow, hours will be changed, that is midnight. And 32-bit overflow, it is at noon. So after that we need to, after 24 hours, a clock is or an input is triggered. That means RTC day, after this day will be changed, and after completion of 31 or 28 or 30 days, the month will be changed, which in turn change the year, which in turn change the decade. Okay, so coming to the real-time application of RTC. So it works or it operates in two modes, that is calendar mode and counter mode. So what is calendar mode and how it will be on, or how it is based on? See here, as we have already seen that we have 4 modes here: 00, 01, 10 and 11 mode. So while selecting a calendar mode, the mode value is equals to 11. So the remaining 3 modes are used for counter mode. See here, so calendar mode is selected when the RTC mode value is equals to 11. So switching from counter mode to calendar mode, that is after completion of these 3 modes only we are going for this mode, that is 11 mode. So after switching from counter to calendar mode, that is switching from counter mode to calendar mode, clears the seconds, minutes, hours and everything to 1. That means it will clears everything. Here when RTC BCD, that means we are entering into calendar mode. That means we need to write the output data in terms of a BCD format. Okay, coming to the counter mode here, the modes which is less than 1 mode, that is all the remaining 3 modes will act as a counter mode, and it is a 32-bit counter which can be directly accessed by the software. And switching from calendar mode to counter mode resets the count value. That means here when coming to or when switching from calendar mode to counter mode makes all these values as a reset. For example, if you continuously switch on your system, or if you change your OS once, then it is going to ask you for the time settings. That means time, or we need to select the area, especially it shows a globe, that means India, time, date, and all these things we are going to reset it again. So coming to the real time clock control register, it is of 8-bit. See here, if it bit 0 RTCFJ, that means RTCFJ, real time clock interrupt flag, it is going to generate an interrupt, or it is going to it's allowing an interrupt. That means if its value is set to 1, then a time event is occurred. That means we need to complete, or the time for given interrupt has been finished. That means a time event is occurred, and when its value is 0, no time event is occurred. That means we can continuously go on with the work with an endless time. RTCIE, that is here real time clock interrupt enable. Here interrupt flag is enabled or disabled when and here the interrupt is enabled when there is an external interrupt. Then this bit will be in a set position, and where there is no interrupt, then this is an disabled position. That means here when the value is 1, interrupt is enabled, and when the value is 0, interrupt is not enabled. See here RTCTEBX, that is RTC real time clock interrupt event occurs. What type of event occurs? Here counter mode, in counter mode or in calendar mode, what type of event is going to occur? Suppose it is a 0 0, then 8-bit overflow. See here, as we have seen that if suppose its value is a 0 0, then 8-bit overflow, minute changed. If it is a 16-bit overflow, 10 bit, 32-bit overflow, and 24-bit overflow in 10, and 32-bit overflow in 11. In calendar mode means it will change, the minutes will be changed, hours will be changed, day at the midnight will be changed, and every day at the noon will be changed. Here coming to the next one, RTC mode selection. See here real time clock mode and clock source select. So based upon the modes we are going to select the clocks. That is suppose 00 means 32-bit ACLK is the input, and 01 means basic timer control is given to the will be selected here. 10 means SMCLK, subsystem master clock, will be selected, and 11 means calendar mode will be selected. See here we have ACLK and SMCLK are selected for 00 and 10, and for 01 and 11 we are going to go for basic timer model clock here. And coming to the next one, real time clock hold, that means it will hold the module. See here, if its value is 1, RTC module is stopped. That means if this bit value is 1, then the real time clock will be in stop mode or reset mode, or it's in off mode. When it is 0, then it will be in operational mode. That means it ticking on the time. So RTC BCD means what? BCD in sense we are changing for the year, that is BCD format selection. If it is 1, then BCD format is selected, and if it is 0, then we are going for hexadecimal format. So coming to the next one, what is a comparator? So comparator is nothing but we need to compare the given inputs with the reference inputs. See here an analog comparator compares the voltage on its two input terminals V plus and V minus. See here, these are the two input terminals V plus and V minus along with the reference voltage. That means the input which is coming from the terminals V plus and V minus will be compared with the reference voltage. See here, the comparator output CA out is high for V plus when is greater than V minus, and it is low when V plus is less than V minus. So here the output will be high when this is greater than this voltage, that is V plus is greater than this voltage, and it is low when this is less than V minus voltage. And the comparator can be switched on or off using the control bit CA on, comparator A on. So this is a comparator. Here we are going to check the input values, then the output will be given. So see here, these two are external inputs, and see here we are taking the three values here: 1/4 of VCC, half of VCC, and a V diode. These are the input values, these are the reference input values. So among these three we are going to select any one of the value, and it is given as a reference value, VCA comparator A reference value. So this reference value will be given as input, and we are going to compare with V plus or V minus. So these two are external input voltages. Here it is a 7-bit register, bit 0, bit 1. See here, bit 0, bit 1, like this. So coming to the bit 0, this is nothing but the comparator A interrupt flag generator. Interrupt flag or interrupts are generating. See here, if it is when, then interrupt is pending, that is the value or the interrupt which is coming from the, or the value or the interrupt which is coming from the external devices is pending. That means that operation has not been done. Therefore if the value is 0, then no interrupt value is pending. Whatever the interrupts coming from the devices are cleared. See here, CAIE, compare A interrupt enable. So we are enabling the interrupt or disabling the interrupt based upon this pin value. That means if it is 1, then we are going to enable the interrupt, and if its value is 0, then we are going to disable the interrupt. And very important thing is edge selection. See here, comparator A interrupt edge select. So if it's 1, then falling edge is selected. If it is 0, then rising edge is selected. It's a very important while calculating the number of clock signals. See, CA on comparator on, CA on comparator on bit, which shows that the comparator is on or off. If it's set, then it is in on position. If it is in reset mode, then it is in off position. See here, bits 4 and 5, we are taking it as a 2 bits. So compare A reference, comparator A reference value. Here we are taking the reference value. When with these both 2 bits are 0 0, then internal reference is off. An external reference can be applied. Here this is the internal reference and this is the external reference. So when it is in 0 0 mode, then the internal reference will be in off state and the external reference will be takes place. When 0 1 mode, that is when it enters into 0 1 mode, that is first, that is 1/4 of VCC is being taken as an reference mode. I repeat, when the bits 4 and 5 are 0 0, then internal reference will be in off position and we are going to take the external reference value. So when the bit value is 0 1, we are taking the reference value as 1/4 of VCC as a reference value. When the bit 1 is 1 0, we are taking 1/2 of the VCC as a reference value, and when the bits value is 1 1, we are taking diode reference value as a reference value. Okay, coming to the next one, CARSEL comparator A reference select. So this bit selects the terminal for reference voltage. This bit selects the terminal for reference voltage. If it is 0, VCAREF, this means this one is applied to the positive terminal. So if this bit value is 0, then this reference value is applied to the positive value V plus, and if its value is 1, then this V reference value is given to the negative terminal, that is V minus. Coming to the last one, CAEX, that is comparator A exchange. So this bit exchanges the comparator inputs and inverts the comparator output. Here the inputs will be exchanged, that means the input will be, external input will be given to internal and internal will be given to the external, and the same sense the output will be also be changed. Thank you.